Okay,
Ooh,
so
no magic
last
escape for
time, Scott, while you were away, or you guys had just finished your roadside combat with the Royal Mage Army, with Jamez and Jaze and Mia, and you guys were very luckily saved by a patrolling council guard. And your companions dragged you and Kelnozz back to the Wicker Goat to recover your wounds, where Brynn took a closer look at you, and although Kelnozz was able to kind of get up and shake off his wounds, you were more wounded and needed some time to recover. So Brynn and Eikooc and Kelnozz traveled back down to the Orwell mine and did some investigating there and found out that John de Stonetooth's sister, Ryan Stonetooth, had gone out trying to investigate what has been attacking some recent supply wagons and was essentially missing. So the players went on a rescue mission, and you guys found her under a bridge where a ogre had made a home, and he had eaten into her. So that's where Kelnozz and Eikooc and Brynn are. They're still kind of, I believe you guys were camping there to recuperate. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. So we will see where you guys do from the camping site, but before then, I need Scott to go into the other voice channel.
Ooh.
Mystery.
Or let's see. As your body is carried back to Saltmarsh, you flitter in and out of consciousness. Green tree canopy above you, the smell of horse, all flashes between darkness. A flicker of bright sunlight, but it grows dim, until it is a speck of light in the starless dark sky. As the sun sets for a second day since your temple was destroyed, you are alone and trapped in the ruin of your temple, and you accept that rescue is not coming, and you will die here too. You see yourself as you were that moment. A boy, bruised and bloody, his clothes ripped and colorless from the stone dust. Curled up and crying in the darkness, but shaking not with sorrow, nor crying in pity. Your fists are clenched in anger, your teeth gnash in impotent rage. You hear a whisper, distant but clear in your ear. You made a vow that night. The small pocket of space is illuminated by a copper light and the sound of shifting stone. The copper light grows and grows, blinding your vision of your young self until you can see nothing in all but copper light. You hear words again, this time the voice of Brynn. Silver stand! Silver stand. Your vision flashes to the dream of the large copper crescent moon hanging over the eastern peaks of the frosted tips. The voice is loud now, directly behind you. Come, Theren! And you sit up in your bed in the room of the Wicker Goat Inn. You can come back to the other voice channel now.
Okay.
Ooh, there he is.
Alright, Theren, you've awoken up in the Wicker Goat. You're in the room that you rented. Back up to full health. What do you do?
In the room that I'm rented, I'm feeling okay. I guess I shake off any remaining feeling of grogginess, and I move into the main room to see if anyone's in there.
The only people that is in there is Lankus, who is cleaning the bar.
Okay, I say over to Lankus. Lankus, good sir, can you tell me, how many days have I been out there?
Theren, you're looking a lot better. You've been out for maybe 12, 16 hours. Your friends have left a message here for you to go down to the Orwell mine when you're feeling better.
Oh. What's the fastest way to get there?
Well, fastest way is a horse. You could run down there pretty quickly if you push your horse hard.
Where does one get a horse around this town?
You can buy one at the stables.
Oh, how much do they usually go for?
I reckon you could probably get one for a couple gold. Maybe if you want a fast one, a bit more.
Huh. Most reasonable. Well, thank you for the message. I'll see you again, hopefully within the week.
He nods and continues with his work.
Okay. I head over to the stable and rent that horse.
Ooh. You can purchase a horse.
Sick.
You find... what kind of horse are you going to try and buy? There are, like, strong ones. There are fast ones.
I'll try to get a fairly strong horse for carrying much loot.
Okay. All right, so mark down, say, 5 gold down for the horse.
Okay.
And now you have a horse.
Nice. I'll just put him in my pouch. Okay. Well, with my newfound steed, I head off down the road at a sustainable pace.
You're going to head off to the Orwell mine?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so while you are traveling down the Orwell mine, we will take a quick adventure back over to the other players. So, Brynn and Eikooc and Kelnozz, you guys have just finished your rests by the road where you found Ryan.
So I believe we took the head of the...
You did, yeah.
Yeah. And we also have her, like, remains or something from her. The corpse. Thought
I don't remember.
I wrote down, we found the missing dwarf, we took the head of the ogre, we're returning to the mine to present her with the dead body of her sister. So
That
I think
part
we were
makes sense.
gonna bring back the body. Alright, we make
Are we going to put her on the cart and take her back to... what's his face, Magoo?
we make Kelnozz carrier.
Yeah, Kelnozz will have to carry her back.
Remember, you guys have a wagon.
No,
Alright.
Kelnozz has to carry her back, exhausting him in the process so that he must take a rest.
Yeah, we did come in a wagon, or disguised wagon. All right, so we'll load the body onto the wagon. We already searched? Did we search the area for anything else? I don't recall.
We didn't really. I think we searched. Did we search the trolls' camp? Let me take a look.
I think you guys did, because I remember some pretty low rolls.
Yeah, we looked underneath the bridge.
Well, we generally had low rolls all around for
Last week was
everything
not
last
pretty.
game.
Okay, I think we camp, our long rest kind of thing, and start heading back.
Okay. Theren, make a perception check roll
Okay.
for your travels.
Uh-oh.
So, Theren, while you are traveling the road, it takes you a bit more than a day, because you didn't be able to start right at the beginning of the day. And during your camping on the first night, you are ambushed by
Uh-oh.
2 bandits who manage to sneak up on you while you are doing your meditation. Roll initiative.
Alrighty. So do that.
Alright. So they got a higher initiative than you, so they're going to get the drop on you here. As you're meditating, you won't say, look what we have here. Stinking half-breed. And he's got his sword drawn. Ooh. Does a 15 hit you?
No.
Terrible. The other one is going to be a few feet back. He's got a light crossbow that he's got aimed at you. 10. Obviously not a hit. Okay, you're up.
Okay. I draw my greatsword and slash at this guy who's right beside me.
What a great sword.
Oh! 20.
Boom. Go ahead and roll critical damage.
Does this automatically do that? I guess not. 2d6 plus 3. So that would just be... How does critical work again?
3. It doubles
Oh my
your
God.
your weapon dice. So if it's 2d6, it becomes 4d6 plus your normal strength damage.
Oh wait, I have to check one thing. Well, I can roll it.
Roll another. Yeah, there you go. Oh man.
But wait a sec, I might have a trait now that does something here.
Triples the damage after doubling.
Quadruple damage!
Triple stamp and the double stamp.
Let's see here. Okay, so I have great weapon fighting. Did I roll any 1s in there? I rolled 1, so I can re-roll that. Okay, so add 4 to make it, wait, what? Oh, that's the proficiency bonus, so 14, 24, add 4 is 28.
You do so much damage to him that you, by the rules of the game, you literally eviscerate him beyond any meaningful way of recovering. So, if you want to describe how you slice this guy in half or whatever, go ahead.
Well, without even taking time to, like, you know, change my stance, I just, like, whip out my greatsword and slice him in half as I do so. And as he falls to the ground, I look over to the other guy and I say, "You had best leave. This was a mistake. I'm not going to give you another chance."
He runs away. Dear God.
Now, wasn't there somebody who wanted, like, bounty on these guys?
Bandit ears.
Yeah, I'm gonna take this guy's ears.
Both ears? Try and pass them as two different guys?
Hey, Ryan, now you're thinking.
Scared one off.
Why didn't they do that in ancient times?
Yeah.
Oh, you want 20? I'll kill 10. They each have 2 ears.
They can probably tell if it's like a left ear and a right ear. So they probably have a convention where you can only take the left ear or something like that.
You should ask the other guy to come back and give him his ear. Give you.
Wait, I need your ear.
So when Brynn and Kelnozz and Eikooc arrive back in town, you see Theren arriving around in town at around the same time.
Like town meaning the
Orwell mining, yeah.
The mine, yeah. Okay, good.
Well, hello, Theren. I see you've awoken from your long nap. And my, what a bloody sword you have.
Indeed, I had some trouble on the road. Nothing I couldn't handle, of course. How did you guys make out here in the mines?
I pull out the ogre head.
Excellent. You've been busy. Well, I'm sorry I missed it, but I hastened to come down here once I got the message from Lankus.
Yes. We must return.
Yes, we have terrible news for Jonda. Unfortunately, her sister, Brindy, was taken by this ogre. Or what we believe to be Brindy. Based on this half-eaten corpse that Kelnozz is hauling.
Yes. Let us return this grim news and get our 400 gold pieces.
Yeah, I guess so. We'll head over to Jonda's place with the cart and Kelnozz in tow.
When you guys go and tell Jonda about what you found, she is distraught and is overcome with tears, and you're quickly ushered out by one of her rock gnome assistants, and given some gold bars that are worth 400 gold pieces.
So we each get 100?
Theren gets 100? He wasn't even there.
Well, of course, I was part of the battle to try and get down here the first time.
That is
Brynn.
true. I would never steal from another in the trade.
Do you want to
Or
stick
a
that on
friend.
Kevin's sheet there, Bob?
Sure.
Just so you know, that was one of my ideals.
Sharing is caring.
No, I don't steal from my friends.
Uh,
The rabble continues to search for inspiration.
I've given you permission to edit Kelnozz's stuff.
got it.
But I've already done the 100 gold pieces, so.
Okay.
Okay, so now that you guys have finished your work for Jonda there, everyone can make a intelligence check.
Intelligence.
Oh, man. I rolled 2 1s and a 20 so far. I'm going on the extremes.
But averaging out quite nicely.
Well, this makes a bit of sense.
Oh.
Ooh.
Nybert's intelligence modifier is -1.
Ooh, that's not great.
No. But his dexterity modifier is 5.
Holy
Oh,
shit.
wow.
Or no, 3. 3, but his bonus is 5. Weird.
That's his intelligence saving throw, probably.
Oh, okay, saving throw. Dexterity saving throw.
Because it's got
Right.
proficiency bonus on it.
Ah, that makes sense.
Okay, so Eikooc, with your razor sharp intellect, you and Brynn, you have a vague recollection of this as well. That
What
it's been a
happened?
few number of nights that your week that you guys have been waiting for the smuggler ship to potentially arrive is likely getting close. You suspect the council will be looking for you soon.
The council will be looking for us?
You guys had planned to meet with the council closer to when the next smuggler ship was expected to arrive.
Which was a week away, so it's been a few days. We would have to meet with the council in Saltmarsh, right? Well, Theren, thank you for making the trip. Perhaps we should travel back from whence we came.
Well, is there anything quick we can do here before we leave? Like, have you guys looked around to see if there's any useful services or such like?
We did indeed, but I think the issue of this missing sister was really the foremost issue, blocking all others.
Yes, we
I
had
see.
to help Jonda first
Jonda
to
said
unlock future considerations for quests.
there might be other things, but she really wasn't. She was really quite distraught.
Well, what about useful merchants or perhaps a source of diamonds can be found within the mine?
The
She
mine
did
itself,
indicate that diamonds don't come from this mine, and they've only gotten sapphires.
there's a merchant that does sell them. However, we don't. We might now have some money in order to buy them, but not.
Yeah, they were expensive.
Oh my. Are we talking 100 G's?
I think they were 100 Gs, if I'm remembering correctly.
I think that's about right. Yeah.
Well,
And how many did we need for that dude?
well, the other question is, what
Alex?
kind of reward was he offering? 100 G's.
He was offering to wipe out our debt to him because we killed his acolyte.
Oh. Well, I mean, that's...
Hardly seems worth it. I mean, we have leveled up a couple times since our last battle. Three diamonds.
Oh, yeah, it
He
was
wants in
3.
reparation.
Crap. Well, we'll have to say we're still looking for those, I think. I don't trust that man anyway. Brynn, do you seem to remember why we were sent to kill his acolyte in the first place?
It was a bounty. A bounty that we got, that we received earlier than that.
Oh, do you remember who the bounty was from? Or just one of those generic bounties that you
I
just
think
found
it
on the
was a
ground?
generic bounty that we had obtained prior to meeting these young folk we're with now.
Ah, yes, we're prone to never ask questions. That's the way it is. All right, then.
So just
Well, anyone with a bounty on their head was up to no good, and that sorcerer had some devilish powers, to be sure.
Indeed.
Well, should we head back up to the town? Meet with the council?
I believe we should. We should discuss this smuggler's boat, and perhaps we can find a larger bounty on that boat. And by bounty, I mean like booty. A large booty of treasure. Or help the council and receive a large booty of treasure in return.
Always going after the booty.
Do you think Jonda would mind if we kept this cart for now? Perhaps we can have Theron's mighty steed pull it along for us.
That is a pretty good idea.
So we can rest and be cognizant of our surroundings as we travel back.
Oh wait, what kind of cart is this that you obtained that doesn't come with horses?
Well, look at this hand cart that we've been using to travel back and forth.
No,
It's
I
got
think we had
four wheels.
horses, didn't we? It was a cart pulled by horses.
Yeah, you guys had a horse that
Did it
was
have
pulling
horses?
the
Oh,
wagon.
Wow.
There was just one horse and a small wagon. But you guys could probably hook up both horses to this one.
doubling our horsepower.
We should ask if we can keep the cart for now. Return it sometime later, possibly.
Indeed, we should
Undisclosed time frame.
quickly speak with one of Jonda's guards.
You
Or someone
can
who
seek out
maybe
her rock gnome assistant, whose name is Sandy Topaz, and
we search for Sandy Topaz.
she just basically just gave you the bars. So she's nearby, and once you ask her for what you say, she says Jonda's very grateful for what you've done and can easily part with a wagon and the horse, which does not look quite as strong as Theron's steed.
Huzzah! We
Many
thank you.
thanks.
And we shall return to discuss further issues with Jonda, but we'll allow her some time to weep for her fallen sister. And we hop in the cart with Kelnozz in tow, so that maybe we can drop him off at the inn.
You can stick around, swing a sword a little.
Well, just make sure he goes in first and gets knocked out on the first hit, because that is like a recurring theme.
That's consistent with that wouldn't be mean to Kevin at all.
That's just what happens. We were trying to play as realistically as possible.
All right, I guess we'll head back up the road with our cart.
Okay, so who is driving the cart?
It's got to be our most survivalist person.
I would think I'd be like keeping an eye out if I'm the most survivalist.
All
Are
right.
you guys all on the wagon, or are some of you walking next to it, or and what pace are you going?
I'm definitely sitting in the wagon.
I think I'd be like walking ahead of the wagon, maybe just off the road.
Okay, then I'll be driving the wagon.
Yeah, I figured Theren would be a good driver. Big knight in shining armor with a super bloody sword. That's great.
Keep a watchful eye out, Brynn. I did encounter bandits on the way here.
Indeed. And I
What happened to those bandits?
continue keeping a watchful eye.
Oh, one met the blade of my sword. I have his ear to bring back his bounty.
Excellent. Bounties abound.
I'm always looking for bounties.
Okay, Brynn, Brynn, if you're doing the scouting for the group, then make a perception check as your group travels along the road to Saltmarsh.
Sorry, perception you said?
Mhm.
So just quickly reading to see if I got some sort of sweet extra, but not really. Perception. 22.
You keep a sharp eye out for bandits and any other ne'er-do-wells as you guys travel the road, but you do not see any. And after a very long day of traveling, you guys basically make it to the edge of Saltmarsh. Very weary from a long, hard day of travel.
In a sweet cart.
And it's like well after dusk, nighttime now.
Perhaps we should head to the inn and rest our weary bones before meeting with the council. Because if I remember correctly, the council meets at a specific time in the evening. And we'd likely have missed that time.
Indeed. Let
Shall I
us
go?
do that.
That's good.
When you guys approach the Wicker Goat Inn, you notice that it's much livelier than usual, and you can hear music pouring out of it, and the sound of people laughing and talking. And when you get inside, you see that everyone's carousing.
What a carousal this is.
Hmm.
And you hear the word quincentennial pop up here and there.
It's a party.
This looks like a wicked party.
Should we join in the festivities?
I'm never one to say no to a beverage.
Is there anybody in here that we recognize?
The place is very busy, but you do notice that there's Lankus as usual. There are a lot of fishermen and sailors that have come in from the docks. Make a perception check.
Cool.
Man, epic perception all around.
I'm tall, so I see all the faces.
You manage to see in the back
In the meta.
there is the old priest of Lorandra. Just fine.
Where do we know her from again?
That's the old man. You went to him to the temple when you just first arrived after the haunted house, and he cured Brynn of his rotworms.
Right.
Oh, where the heck?
Brynn, your rotworm buddy is in the back there.
Oh, excellent. We should go say hello and perhaps buy him a beverage.
No sign of the Team Rocket?
No, you don't see Jaze or Jame or Mia.
Okay.
As you guys filter into the bar, you hear Lankus shout and say, "Ho, boys! Welcome back! Eleander Fireborn's been looking for you. Says to meet him at Who Watch Tower." And he goes off busily with a handful of flagons to a table. Kelnozz starts pulling out his musical instrument of choice and starts playing a fiddle. What are you doing, Theren? Unmute yourself, Scott.
I guess I sit down to the bar and order a drink.
Moments later, a frothy flagon of ale is put in front of you.
Nice, I enjoy it slowly.
Says, "Did you hear the news?"
No, I've been out of town. What's been happening?
Words come in from the capital that the Council of the Rock has announced that there will be a celebration for the quincentennial. Just a few months. And every town and settlement is to have a celebration.
Well, what normally happens in such a celebration?
Well, I've never had a quincentennial before, but you can be sure there'll be plenty of feasting and games and contests. It'll be like every party, but 5 times as big. And he shuffles off to continue ordering drinks. What are you guys up to now?
Ryan, are we heading over to the priest?
We should meet with the priest. Were we given any timeline on meeting Eleander Fireborn at Whale Watch Tower?
Who are you asking?
I will ask Eikooc that question.
I heard him just say he was looking for us to go there and meet up with him. I don't know how he could know we were back. But, maybe he's using.
Indeed. What time is it? We're like late at night at this point.
Yeah, it is. It's like probably 9 and 10.
Well, perhaps
I'd
we continue celebrating and try to locate Eleander in the morning.
I'd say it's 50-50. He has more work for us, or he's just trying to get his diamonds.
Ooh, I don't believe he was the one looking for the diamonds.
Wasn't he?
No.
Eleander Fireborn is of the council.
Oh, okay.
It
Never
was
mind.
Kaladek looking for
He's
the
from the
diamonds.
barracks, isn't he?
Kaladek.
That's right.
Sorry, you said the tower. I was thinking the other guy.
Whale Watch Tower. I don't know if that's what Bob said, but that's what I wrote down.
You
Where
guys
is
are
Whale Watch Tower compared to the other one?
That's a good question. It's over there. Can't you see the tower with the whale on it? Watching?
Were you guys going to approach Welgar Brinehanded? The old priest from the Temple of Larandra?
Yes.
He's tapping his foot, watching everyone have fun.
Welgar, my friend. How have you been?
Hi, Brynn! You having a good time?
Absolutely. To what do we owe the festivities?
Council's called for a festival in a few months. It's a quincentennial. 500 years of council rule.
Ooh. A long-standing council.
That's right. I wonder if your friend will have that much fun. 500 years since the Halgud Wars were ended. Guess he's lucky that he can be here.
Indeed, he is a good friend.
What about your kind? You think your kind will be celebrating?
One day, the elves will be looked at in a better light. The events of late have really tarnished our general reputation. But people will see they're good among us.
Hmm. We'll see. He starts looking back to the party, sipping his drink. Well,
Perhaps we can buy you another beverage to help celebrate this announcement of the quincentennial party. Seems like a big party to celebrate the announcement of next party.
it doesn't take too much to get people excited here. As for another drink, no thank you. My boat's already floating, if you know what I mean.
Oh, whatever floats your boat. Perhaps you might be able to tell us where Eleander might be. Is he around the tavern this evening?
Ha! I don't think you'll find Eleander in any tavern, nor here, or the Empty Net, or the uh, so guys, I immediately went blank. The Snapping Line. If he's not sleeping, he's working. But either way, you can find him at Who Watch Tower. Just a bit north of here. Kinda take the long way around with the roads, though.
Ah, excellent. We appreciate your help and hope you enjoy your evening.
And with you. This is where Pool Watchtowers.
Is there anyone else that we recognize in the bar?
There aren't anyone that you know else in the bar.
What say you, gentlemen? Shall we stumble our way over to the Who Watch Tower?
Oh, you may stumble. My paladin purity makes me immune to the effects of intoxication. But I think we should go see him. He might have been waiting for us for a couple days while we were gone.
Indeed, because we don't know how long he's been looking for us.
Sounds good.
Okay. You guys are gonna meander over. When you get to Who Watch Tower, you see a "60-foot tall tower, and made out of stone. There is a board hanging by the tower's entrance with a scroll on it. The door is locked. What do you guys do?
Can we knock on the door?
You knock on the door, and after a few minutes, you see a light, candlelight, come through one of the small windows in the door, and Eleander Fireborn opens the door in his sleeping gown, and he says, "Where in the 5 realms have you guys been?"
We've been on an important mission to help
Jonda. Her
Jonda.
sister. Her sister was missing. Turns out she was found dead. Killed by an ogre.
I don't know who Jonda is, but I thought we had an agreement and that you guys knew in about a week that we would need you. Anyway, some of my men have reported that a strange ship has pulled into the bay. We think that it might be the smuggling ship that those smugglers were waiting for and that you broke up. This might be a good time for us to put our plan in motion.
Indeed. Perhaps you can remind us of what the plan entails, just to refresh our weary minds.
He ushers you guys inside, and one of his servants starts lighting a fire in the hearth. And he says, well, we know that there must be some sea vessel that's helping the smugglers. And I reckon that there's probably some method of communication between the smugglers at sea and those that were working out of the house that y'all busted up. So what I would suggest is, what you'll need to do is head back to the house and somehow get in touch with the ship, and either sneak on or lie your way on, or I don't know how you want to deal with this.
How far out is the ship?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to see if this ship even is the smuggling ship.
It's just been spotted as an unidentified ship somewhere out in the bay. I see.
Now I'll send a couple of my men with a small keelboat down to the house to meet you there. And you can take that if there is a boat to go to. But what you do from there, it's up to you.
Sounds like a pretty good plan.
Indeed.
He says, you might still be able to go tonight, but I wouldn't go during the day.
Yeah, we should head up tonight. Probably they sent some sort of light signal out to the sea. So we should look to see what that might be.
Very good. Is Kelnozz with us?
Kelnozz seems to have not come with you guys and is probably still at the Wicker Goat.
He would be helpful to disguise as the former bandit captain Samble to help us sneak aboard, if it is indeed the ship that's in league with these smugglers.
Eleander nods and says, "Yep, you could use some kind of fancy trick like that. Don't approve much of those dark arts myself, but sure beats trying to take them head on. I'd trick them or sneak up on them myself."
All right. Well, we'll consider our options and report back to you in the morning.
All right, now get the hell out of my house. And as he sees you off, he says, "Now there is one more thing since you're here. Take notice here on my board. We've had some trouble recently with a missing druid. Town council won't spare any men to go looking for him since he's not one of, well, let's say he's not from around here. But Hotch is a good man. If you can find him, we think he's been taken by bandits who are asking ransom for him. Town council won't approve paying the ransom either."
What was his name? Sorry, I missed that.
Hutch.
Hotch.
Hutch.
We call him Hotch. Comes around this part sometimes to sell hides and furs.
Are there any known whereabouts these bandits typically hide out?
These bandits have made camp somewhere in the Drowned Forest. It's a few days ride out here.
Now, would you say we should probably investigate this ship while it's in port, as opposed to going on a multi-day journey to find Hutch?
Yes, that's a good idea.
If this is the smuggling ship that we think it is, then chances are we won't be here for a while if we miss our window. I can't tell you what to do. Hutch is a good man. I wish that we had the power to go get him.
How did the bandits make their ransom known to the council?
Sent a messenger.
What was the ransom? How much?
The ransom is 500 gold, a month's worth of food and water, supplies, armor. It's ridiculous, really. But they're too far away for our town, for our council to approve an expedition, and as I said, they don't see the value in it anyway.
I understand. Thank you.
Now get going.
I take my leave.
Yep. I think we should return to the haunted house. See if we can flag down that ship somehow.
Well, if I recall, we found a book describing a signal from a horned lantern that we found also. So
That's
we
a
should
very
read
good
that.
memory.
The
So what do you guys do?
parchment from the lamp, the lantern. You want me to read it aloud?
Yep, read that.
Look for the signal. Long, short, short, short. If safe, send signal. Short, long. Wait for. Long before disembarking.
Well,
Seems like
that's
a
it.
message that we need to send to obtain access.
It could be
Although where
risky.
would we disembark? Do we still have a boat in the harbor here, or has that been scuttled at this point?
No, I think it's still there, wouldn't it be?
Can we keep our horses and cart with our boat?
What? That's not where you keep horses.
Leave the horses at the inn with the.
I don't want someone to steal our sweet horses and cart.
Nobody's gonna steal our horses. If they do, we'll go and slice them in half.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, there's that. We've got the bandit cleaver with us. Theren, the cleaver of bandits. It's got a great sword.
So what are you guys doing?
We heading back to the house?
Back to the inn, you mean?
No, back to the haunted house. We have to flag down that ship so that they think they have to come in to collect up the right. We got to bring them in. They're somewhere out there, maybe in the bay. We got to bring them in using the signal.
Yes, the signal's the only way to know if they're truly involved in the smuggling. Unfortunately, it means we can't sneak up on them, but
Well, we can pretend to be the smugglers from the house, bringing in the shipment or taking out the shipment.
It's pitch dark, remember, so you know. Just because they're expecting you doesn't mean they'll see you.
that's true.
If you care to be silent or care to be stealthy.
All right, but let's head down there then. And should we take our boat there? Because they might expect us to row out. I don't know.
Well, that's why Eleander said he's going to have boats waiting for us.
Okay.
People that could row them.
Yeah, because I can't row very well. We all
We've
how that worked
seen
out.
how that's worked out. As a team, we could not row very well.
Especially not in the dark. All right, let's head down to that house and then see if we can signal the ship.
Okay, you guys head to the house, and even though it is as dark as it was when you first approached the house, now that it's not storming, it is much less spooky as you approach the dilapidated old building. And you manage to get to the house without any incident. Where do you guys go while you're in the house? You're at the house out the front door.
Well, I'd say we cautiously, make our way down into the basement that we know about, listening to see if there's anyone in there as we go.
Make a perception check.
I'll find it. There it goes.
You don't hear anyone in the house, and you travel down through the sea cave, down to where you found your boat originally. And there you see just as you get there, there's a pair of guards from town who are rowing a similarly sized boat as the one that you guys took into the cave.
Is this where we found the lantern?
No, you guys found the lantern in like Sandblaze private quarters.
Right.
So you guys are here at the mouth of the sea cave. What do you do?
And we can see the guards that have arrived as well.
Yeah, the guards have arrived with the boat.
Everyone, take your places. Let's give this lantern a shot. And I brandish the lantern.
Okay, I don't think all of us should stand too close here. Like maybe myself and the two guards, and maybe Eoth is pretty large and imposing. Maybe one of the guards and you, Brynn. Oh wait, did we take Kelnozz with us?
Nope.
Okay, well then.
Yeah, he was still at the bar.
Okay, well then we'll have like one of the guards maybe and Brynn make the contact while the rest of us kind of hide around the corner in the cavern, waiting for your signal if something goes wrong.
Excellent.
So, Brynn, you're gonna stand at the mouth of the cave.
Standing at the mouth of the cave.
Okay, make a perception check.
Two.
You see a light coming off of the. You see a light in the darkness on the water, but it just seems to be flickering.
Just a flickering light? Okay.
You can't tell if it's like a star or maybe a torch or something out there. Maybe even a candle. You don't really know.
I hold up the lantern and I guess open the front cover. If you can see what I'm doing, I'm actually like doing it in my chair here.
Oh, I can see, yeah.
Okay, excellent.
Totally wrong.
Well, that's awkward. Can you see me in my underpants too?
I can see you without your underpants.
Oh God, you can't see me. I always play D&D in the nude. And I pull the cover off and do kind of like a 1 second delay, maybe a 2 second delay, and then 1, 2, 3 short bursts, and then look out to where I see what I thought was some kind of flickering.
So what do you do with your lantern?
Yeah, actually, hold on. This is wrong. I'm supposed to be looking for the signal. I will continue peering into the darkness. Do I see any stronger lights out there?
You just see that light that was described.
What if I listen very closely?
Make a perception check. You hear the sound of waves crashing against the sea, the sea rock. You hear some gulls maybe in the background. You hear nothing, like out of the ordinary.
So now I'm gonna have the lantern held up high, and I'm just gonna open the front door of the lantern and just have the light flicker out lightly. And then peer into the distance. Do we see any?
After a few moments, the flickering light that you saw goes out.
I too put out the light, close the door on it. and keep staring out into the darkness of the sea.
What is Brynn and or not Brynn, but Eikooc and Theren doing during this?
Well, I'm gonna wait around the corner, kind of out of sight of the bay opening or the cove opening,
Mm-hmm.
within earshot of Brynn in case he sounds the attack.
Yeah, just kind of staying out of sight.
Ten minutes passes. Brynn, make another perception check.
Let's see. Oh. Well,
You've been
so, like,
blinded.
what can you say about that? Like, turns out I've been staring at the rock wall the whole time and facing the wrong direction.
Your eyes are so bleary from a long day of travel that after 10 minutes you do see a flickering light return. But again, you have a lot of trouble figuring out what it is. You don't discern a noticeable pattern. But at this point, your eyes are starting to tear up because you're kind of sleepy.
Oh. Too many drinks at the bar, methinks. Does anyone else see the light over yonder?
We're around the corner.
Oh.
You want us to come take a look?
I would like someone to come and take a look with me.
All right, I'll come around and take a look.
As Eikooc comes and helps Brynn, you stare out at the water and you notice that there is a flashing light that, after a moment of watching it, seems to have a pattern.
Oh. I look towards the patterned light to see if I can discern anything further.
So, Eikooc, you point out to Brynn that the pattern is going long, short, 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 and repeats itself. A long period of darkness, a quick light, short period of darkness, short.
And we all see this, or this is just Eikooc seeing it?
Eikooc is pointing it out to you.
Oh, he's pointing it out to me. Okay. So I get Eikooc to hold the lantern up and say, Eikooc, you're more easily made into a lamp pole. Please hold this and follow my instructions. Return the signal with short, long, and then let's wait and see what they have to signal back.
All right, I do a short, long, then short, long.
There's a long pause, and then you see 3 long signals, 3 long periods of blackness, and then it repeats a couple times before stopping.
Aha. They have received our signal. My confusion here lies with this parchment says wait for long, long, long before disembarking. We are already ashore.
This is obviously instructions for the ship, you silly man.
What do you guys do?
I think they're on their way.
Make an intelligence check. You remember that Eleander gave you the guys with the boat so that you guys could boat out to the ship.
Oh.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
Super
We
smart.
mount up into the boat.
I've been drinking. All right, into the boats.
We get into the boat.
Okay, you guys get into the boat. The guards push out into the water.
We should probably make a plan while we're on our way out.
What's
Indeed.
the plan?
We will approach the ship, board the ship, fight who's ever on it, because they're obviously the smugglers, and they've responded to our.
This is going to be a bloodbath.
We're missing our master of
Sacrificial
stealth.
lamb.
Our master of stealth and disguise. I don't really have much in the way of.
What about your magic hat?
Oh yeah.
Perhaps you can dress as a smuggler might, and the rest of us can take some of these burlap sacks we have upon this ship and make ourselves less
Do you have a magic hat?
regal looking.
I put on the magic hat and look like. What was the dude's name, Ryan?
Samblay.
Yeah, Samblay.
Samblay? Ooh, he's going back to episode 1.
So the guard looks to you and says, it says, okay, so we're gonna row right up to the boat. Question mark?
Well, with this disguise on, I should be their leader. So treat me as if I'm the smuggling leader from here, a magic wielder that we dispatched some time ago. I will try and pass myself off as this magic wielder.
Excellent. This is a flawless plan. It has never failed us in the past.
At the very least, long enough for my friends here, Brynn and Theren, to get in position for a surprise attack on their most important people.
As you guys get closer, everyone make a perception check, and do so at disadvantage. So Brynn, when you get around 60 feet away, you see the boat, and the boat is dimly. You can see that it is dimly lit, and it is has its starboard facing the coast. It's parallel to the coast with starboard facing the coast, and as you guys get a little
Can
bit...
I identify like how many people are on board or anything? Can I see any of that kind of detail?
No, it's your perception check.
No.
Although I think you do have that ability now that I originally thought you had at level 1.
Yeah. Kick an ass ability.
The guard looks up to you guys and says, I think I see the boat. What should we do? If we get too close, they may see us.
I think we should go right up to it.
Indeed, they're expecting us. And especially Samblay, their leader.
I could lay down in the boat to make myself less visible. We could say there's less than.
Can I? Are
5
there
people.
any? As we're traveling around, am I detecting any like birds or sea creatures nearby or anything like that?
With your perception check, there's very little of either. Birds, it's in the middle of the night, so the birds are not really out around flying. And you haven't noticed any aquatic animals.
Okay. And how far away from the boat are we?
You guys are probably like 50-ish feet.
Okay. I'm going to try and use some primeval awareness to attune my senses and determine if any favorite enemies lurk nearby. So I spend 1 interrupted minute in concentration. This feature reveals which of your favorite enemies are present, their numbers, and the creature's general direction and distance. So am I just detecting creatures on this one ship?
5 miles of you, yeah.
Yeah, within 5 miles.
Okay, so you spend a minute concentrating and attuning yourself to the elements, and when you do that, you can feel the misty air of the sea on your skin and smell the salty water, and through just the feeling in the air, you can tell that there are many humanoids nearby. Which your favorite enemies are present. So you know that they're humanoids and their numbers. There's 16 humanoids on the boat.
16 humanoids, wow, okay. And obviously they're on the boat because there's not much else around us. So.
The general creature's direction and distance in miles from you, so you know their distance in miles.
Yeah.
There's nothing beyond this boat?
Yeah, like I'm not. That's what my question was earlier. Like I'm not detecting like another boat behind us or anything like that.
No, you're not detecting anything else. This is the only thing within 5 miles.
And on our boat we've got myself, Eikooc, Theren, and 2 guards.
Mm-hmm.
My friends, I feel we are
2 guards.
fairly significantly outnumbered.
Says, well, we're not going up there. Our job is just to row you out.
That leaves us even more outnumbered. I'm detecting about 16 humanoids aboard that ship and unknown other beasts, if there may be some. Is there, like, are we kind of stealthy in this boat? Or would they be, like, looking over the sides of the boat, like, looking for us?
Now that you guys are getting a bit closer, you can see that there are a couple figures that are standing and looking on the starboard side, and you're at around the area where you need to decide if you're going to be stealthy or not.
Well, Eikooc, how confident are you in your deception skills to tactfully allow us to board this ship and surprise these scoundrels? Or should we try and silently pull along and see if we can gain access in a stealthy way?
You guys can scroll down to the bottom to get an idea of what this ship looks like. The guard says, if we stay here adrift, they may spot us. What are we doing? Go right towards them, or we can try to sail around and come at them from the port side.
Perhaps that's a good idea. Maybe we should see if we can go around the side that they're not looking and catch them off guard.
Why am I wearing this stupid disguise then?
Well, you weren't answering when I asked you how confident you were in your skills. You just sat there silently, staring into the darkness until this guard piped in and said, maybe we should do a different idea.
I had to pee.
Oh, wow. That explains your absence from my
You went to the
question.
bathroom.
I thought you were just ignoring me.
I'm as confident as Kelnozz is successful.
Ooh, then we are certainly in for some trouble.
I don't know. It seems kind of difficult to me to, get yourself onto a boat just by sneaking up on it.
Indeed, I think we're going to need to use our...
Remember, it's pitch dark.
Delay card.
It's nighttime. The sound of the waves are
we gonna,
crashing against the boat.
Grappling hook our way up there, or how does this kind of maritime? I do have a book on, maritime information here.
Now is the perfect time to read your book in the pitch dark while we're about to be spotted off the starboard bow.
Maybe there's something in here about
settle down for a
helping
good
out.
read.
The guard really does need an answer here on what to do.
All right, let's sneak up, and if we're caught, we can. I'll play the sandblade.
Perhaps we can more easily gain access by moving right along starboard side, having you play the Sambalay card and distracting them while I try and climb up the back in a stealthy way, thereby succeeding in both respects.
More complicated plans always work out better. I like it. Well, let's
Who's in charge here anyway?
It's a bit of a democracy, but more of just whoever's the loudest at the time.
Let's go with Wise Eikooc plan. I think he's the most learned among us.
So we'll try and sneak up, and when we're caught, we'll play the Sambalay card.
Yeah, we'll say our navigation skills are lacking.
All right.
Just accidentally found our way to the port side of the ship.
It's quite dark out.
Yes, it is, indeed.
The guards shake their heads and grumble and manage to steer the ship into the darkness and circle around the boat. Doesn't look like anyone has spotted you, and you manage to get the boat pretty close to the port side of the smuggling vessel. There are the boards for the boat are a little uneven. It looks like you could find a place to put your fingers without too much trouble, but the board is also wet.
Could be a risky climb.
Perhaps
One of
we
us
could
could
use
go
this
up.
rope.
Well, one of us will still have to climb in order to let the rope down for the others to get up easier.
Indeed.
Who among us would be the best to climb? Damn. Kelnozz would be.
I feel like I have the dexterity to clamber up the back of this ship, or the side of this ship.
All right, we'll take a rope with you, and then, yeah,
All right.
we'll decide who comes next.
I begin clambering.
Okay, in any order that you'd like, I need you to roll a stealth and an athletics check.
Yeah. Man, that's +6. Rolled a
Wow.
3. Get out of here. What's the point of modifiers? Oh my god!
Oh,
Splash!
Splash! You don't even manage to get your first handhold on.
Trip falling
As
out
soon
of the
as
boat.
your foot leaves the boat, you fall directly into the water.
Do we hear any movement from the ship? Like,
Make a
Anybody?
perception check with disadvantage. The sound of waves are sloshing against the boat, and you can't hear anything from above.
I quickly reach in to pull Brynn out of the water and help him onto the boat.
Pull a dripping Brynn onto the water. Although Brynn, you found yourself very light in the water with your fancy mariner's scale mail armor.
Oh, I took that off.
Oh, you
I'm
did?
not wearing that right now. Yeah.
Oh, you don't feel light.
Yeah, I don't feel light at all.
Dreadfully normal.
Dreadfully normal. No, I took that off when it was cursed. I don't know what the curse was, but can't be having that. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Okay. Theren has pulled up Brynn. Eikooc, what are you doing?
Yeah, perhaps you could reach the top with your hulking height.
I'm just going to try and climb up.
Okay, make a athletics saving throw or athletics check. Sorry.
That's not disadvantage. That's just.
Okay, 17. You pull yourself up onto the deck. Make a stealth. Are you being stealthy? Sorry.
I'm not being like.
I'm not being
sneaky.
unstealthy.
Yeah, I'm not doing like sneaky stealthy, but I'm not like outwardly trying to make any noise whatsoever. Like I'm trying to get. I'm trying to be silent so I don't alert anybody to my presence. So yes, like yes.
Roll a stealth check.
Basically, I'm trying to be stealthy without being suspicious in case somebody's like looking at me.
So you're not walking on tippy toes and going.
That's
dun,
right.
dun,
Like,
dun, dun, dun.
that's right. Not like doing combat rolls or anything like that. I'm like,
Okay, just have to roll. What the? Okay. You climb up the rope, or you climb up to the side, and though the light is dim at best, you can see details of the ship's main deck. In the center, forward of the mast, a jolly boat is lashed to the deck with ropes. Aft of the mast is a hatch to the below decks area and a rope ladder climbing to a crow's nest above. Two human figures lean against the rail mid-deck, staring toward the coast. Between them at deck level is a roll of canvas or rope. To fore and aft, below the upper decks, stand vague outlines of doors, and you can see also ladders that lead to the upper decks. The aft one on the port side, the forward one on the starboard. What do you do?
I drop a rope, or like if they throw one end of the rope up to me, or I don't think I took the rope from you. So if you throw a part of the rope up to me, I will silently lash it to the side of the ship so that the rest of them can climb up.
Brynn, Theren, Eikooc is gesturing for a rope.
Throw a soaking wet rope up to Eikooc.
Make an athletics check.
Oh God.
You manage to throw it and it reaches Eikooc, who catches it. Alright, Eikooc, you have a rope.
Okay, I'm gonna lash it to the side of the ship, like assume there's some sort of railing,
You can find a nearby railing.
some sort of lashing point.
Okay. Make a make an intelligence check.
Rope tying check.
Okay, the rope is tied.
I make a motion for them to climb up my very secure rope.
You're very less than 50% of a D20 rope. All right.
On a +4.
Up you go then, Brynn. Should be easier this time for you.
Aha! A rope. What a great idea. And I begin to climb said rope.
Okay. Make a athletics check with advantage and a stealth check, please. Okay. You manage to make it up the rope without making any loud noises and without falling.
Alright, after seeing Brynn scale the ship successfully, I do much the same. Actually, that'll be less with advantage, but it's good enough. But stealth will be
at disadvantage, I believe.
Yeah. Due to my heavy arms. Oh man.
Okay, you manage to get up. The rope manages to stay. But as you get up, as you climb up, you make significant more noise, and as you reach the lid, or not the lid, but the top of the boat, you land on the boat with a heavy clunk, and the two figures turn around. What the?
I look at the figures and I say, "Ha! I knew you weren't watching closely enough. How did I get on the ship without you seeing me?"
There is one guy who has a red bandana on and a peg leg, and he says, "What the hell are you doing here? Sneaking up on us."
I wanted to make sure you were doing your job. Turns out you're just a bunch of amateurs.
He laughs. Fucking Zambalay. Who are these two elves you brought? Are they here to join the feisty one downstairs? Down below?
Nah, they're just help I picked up. They're more than useless, but this one fell in the water on the way in. Look at that. I kicked him while he was in there. It was really funny. Nah, they're just helping me out. They're gonna be loading and unloading.
It explains why the signal was so messed up.
Yeah, bunch of newbies. I lost my regulars. They're bunch of freaking I don't know what to call them. What are they called? Some wannabe heroes from the town, but they met their maker.
Make a deception check.
Yeah, I figured that was coming. Where are you, deception? Charisma. That's a bad sign.
Says, you gotta come down with a touch of a cold or something? Sam Belay, you sound pretty fucked up, to be honest.
I took a spell to the throat. It's got me all raw. I think I inhaled a firebolt or something. Alright, let's get on with this.
He says, alright. Where's all your booty?
Well, I wanted to make sure the payment was here before I brought it out. Who else did you bring with you?
He looks confused at that question and says, what do you mean, who else did I bring with me? We're all here.
Yeah, but I haven't seen Grimy Mike. I love that guy. He's got the best stories.
Make a deception check and make a deception check. Yeah.
There's no one named Grimy.
The pirate narrows his eyes at you and says, wait a minute. Nobody says takes a spell to the throat. Who are you really?
That's what you got? I can't sleep.
Okay.
Yeah, can we get the jump on them and all strike at the same time?
Well, this sleep will hopefully do the trick.
There's 16 guys, Sky.
We're only talking to 2 of them, aren't we?
Yeah, there's just 2 guys on the deck.
The other guys are about their business.
Okay.
So, where are you focusing this 20 feet point?
Between the 2 guys, I guess.
So here. You know what? Fuck, you guys can't see anything.
No, I don't see anything.
I'm sorry. I've been looking at this. I forgot to make it available to you guys. So it's in the middle.
Ah.
I'm very sorry. That was something that should have been obvious to me, but wasn't. So, just in case this changes your mind, this was described, but in boat terms. There's a deck up here.
The poop deck? Okay, that's like the front and back of the boat?
Mm-hmm. You guys can't see it. You don't know if there's anybody up there or not.
Oh, I see. I don't know that it changes my mind. What do you guys think?
I think
I
casting
think we
sleep
need
might
to-
be a good idea.
Yeah, I think casting sleep and then trying to get some like strikes in before they can strike us. Because 16 of them, we're gonna have to be taking down like 2 guys a turn just to get out of here with just 3 of us.
Well, we don't have to necessarily like if there's nobody to wake these 2 up. How long does a sleep spell last?
A ridiculous amount of time.
It's
Well, then we can just
in combat, it might be a long time.
Yeah.
And then perhaps Eikooc can take on the disguise of one of these 2.
That'll go well.
Let's go ahead and roll initiative, because only this one is going to sleep.
Oh, damn.
Oh, I didn't do the old token select.
Oh, me neither.
Ah.
Oh man.
First and last. This is just how our roll's been going. At least you got a 2.
Okay. You guys can decide who goes first there, if you need to.
Does Brynn start?
Yeah, so I meant when it gets to you guys.
Yeah.
You can go before me, Scott.
Okay.
Okay.
No.
So Eikooc gets a quick spell off and surprises them as the pirate to the left of the red banded peg-legged pirate just drops, starts snoring loudly.
All right.
What now?
I'm going to back up near this doorway. I can't see anything on the upper deck here, eh? Towards the back. Or further?
Make a
here?
perception check.
Oh, sorry, that shouldn't be an advantage. The initiative is supposed to be, but didn't show.
You know from your perception check and from your meditation that there are people up there. There's 3 people up there.
Mhm. And do I know how many are over on this side?
There's 1.
And what's it going to cost me to clamber up the side of this deck to get onto the front upper deck?
Your climbing speed is half of your normal speed.
Okay, so how tall is the wall of this?
They're like roughly 5-6 feet to get up to the forecastle. If that's what you're talking about, this section here.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I started here, and I've got 35 speed. So I don't know, 10, another 10 to get up. Can I see the guy that's up here? And the other guys?
Yep, when you get up there, you see that there is another pirate. Oops. Who is standing up here. He's startled to see you. And across the way on the poop deck, you see 3 people. One of which is this really huge, muscle-bound, tattoo-covered, bald pirate, and another one that looks rather skinny compared to that, and he's wearing these long flowing robes. Doesn't seem to be wearing any kind of armor or hold any weapons.
Perhaps I've brought in too many ads. Classic mistake.
Okay, what's your action?
So I am going to do something crazy. So you said there's a guy. This guy's the guy in cloth, or that's the big tattooed guy?
That's the big tattooed guy.
And this guy's the guy in cloth?
Yeah.
Okay. I am going to that's a bonus action. I'm gonna cast Ensnaring Strike on myself. And I'm going to fire an arrow at the gentleman in robe. And that would be a long bow.
So okay.
Okay, so I have advantage because they have not acted yet, or that guy has not acted yet. I'm gonna longbow him. Ooh.
Nice.
So 21.
So which one are you attacking? Sorry.
This guy first.
That
The
guy.
mage, dude.
Mhm.
Okay. That's
21 hits.
21 almost assuredly hits. The Bryn's hands glow with a gold light and guide his arrow true to hit the skinny dude in the robes. Go ahead and roll damage.
Okay. And these are humanoids?
These seem to be humans, yeah.
Okay, so I hit the longbow for 9 piercing plus 2, so 11 piercing.
The man cries out as the arrow thuds into his shoulder.
And then he makes a strength saving throw.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, he these so it's so as the arrow hits his shoulder, these thorny vines spark out of the wood underneath him and start to twist around his legs, but he dances and manages to take a step away from them, unaffected by them.
Ooh.
Okay, now it's there.
Nope.
Oh,
It's not over yet. So there is... This guy's within 5 feet.
Yep.
He also gets arrowed using my Hunter Conclave ability, Hordebreaker.
Nice.
So hit him with a longbow. At advantage again. So 25. That most assuredly hits for 13 piercing damage on him.
13 piercing damage. The arrow catches him in the head, and he falls down dead.
Yeah. Well, that was fairly effective.
Very effective.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now it's Theren's turn.
My turn. I murmur a prayer to bless us in battle. Hold on a sec here. How do I do that? That? So everybody can add 1d4 to attack rolls and saving throw.
Like all of them, or just like the next one?
All of them.
Oh wow!
For a while. So Theren lifts his hand and copper lightning cracks around Eikooc, Theren, and Brynn as you feel yourself strengthened by Moraganor's might.
Wow.
Sick. And then I move up to this guy, drawing my greatsword. And
What a great sword!
and like peering him down.
Okay. Very good. Eikooc, you're up.
Okay. I think I'm going to make my way, seeing that Theren just sent a bunch of arrows going across the ship towards the back. I think I'm going to make my way.
The stairs are right here just for...
Yeah, I was going to go the other way. I'm the wizard.
There's only one guy up here. That's why I came here. I'm like, I can fend off one guy while lobbing arrows at the others.
I was going to go over here.
Okay.
And then I'm going to cast a spell. I'm going to cast... Just take a quick look here what these are.
Ryan, it's going to be your turn after the pirates go after Kevin.
Okay. So it's going to be my turn in multiple people's other turns. Are you just warning me because I take a long time to decide what I want to do?
Not just you.
I'm going to cast Shatter. Sorry. I just want to see what the range is on it. It is 60 feet range, 10-foot radius. Okay. So I'm going to do Shatter over here on these two guys.
Nice.
Cast.
That is... Okay, they need to do a saving throw. Okay.
That was actually a really poor roll. 3d8. I rolled a 9.
And it is Constitution saving throw. 12. This is going to be the guy in the robes. So he gets affected. And this is going to be the big muscly guy. God damn it. It's terrible rolls.
It's okay. I rolled terrible damage, so.
Okay, so they just take the full thunder damage.
Also says any non-magical object that isn't being worn or carried also takes the damage in the spell's area. So all the wood of the ship splinters around them.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just deal with their hit points.
I was considering you trying to use this to put a hole in the side of the ship earlier.
Just scuttle the ship?
Yeah, just like, and that's that problem taken care of.
But we didn't recover the goods.
That's right. It was just a net even.
Okay.
So we didn't do what you wanted, but we stopped bad stuff from happening in the future.
Money, please.
Pay us now.
The wood around these two just splinters and little shards of the wood go flying into the air, and they both wince in pain. The man in the robe seems to be standing a little bit more haggardly now, but the big muscly guy seems only a bit angered. Do you have anything else for your turn?
I believe that is all. Yep.
So first, this bandit is going to run up to Brynn, brandishing his sword, and try to take an attack. Does a 15 hit?
Ooh. I have exactly 50.
Then it hits, and you are dealt 4 slashing damage as the sword slashes into your back as you take your shot.
Should have got you!
This man... Let's see. This pirate runs, leaps off the poop deck, and lands down here and says, "What are you doing on my ship? Old Snake Eyes is gonna eat you." And he pulls out a hand crossbow, takes a shot at Theren.
Oh no.
16 hit?
I don't think so. No.
Nope.
Nothing can hit the mighty Theren.
The other one is going to... Let's see what he can do. He is going to walk over here and he starts casting a spell. This pale blue light magic starts twisting between his fingers and turns green until it looks like a green arrow, and he fires it at Eikooc. Okay, he needs to make a ranged spell attack here against you. What's your AC? Yeah.
I'll just look.
Is it reliably under 16?
Yes, it's under 16, 100%.
Okay.
It's 14.
Oh, you take 4 acid damage. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's the wrong one. I have to do two more floors. It's supposed to be 44. You take 10 acid damage now, and you feel the acid continue to sink into your body, so you're going to take acid damage at the end of your next turn.
Alright, I'm going to use my Stone's Endurance to shrug off the injury.
Ooh.
It's a Halgud ability.
Halgud.
Whoa.
So I shrug off 8 damage.
Nice.
So sorry, how much was it? It was 10?
It was 10 total, yeah.
Alright, so I shrug off 8, so I take 6. Take 2.
Okay, and now lastly, the pirate with the peg leg and red bandana brandishes his long sword and starts slashing away at the half-elven dragoon in front of him. What's your AC again, Theren?
18.
So he's going to use his longsword two-handed here.
Uh-oh.
Misses. He twists his sword into the air and does a second attack. Ooh. You manage to deflect his longsword, bat it away harmlessly. And I think that's all of them. Yep, so now it is back up to Brynn's turn.
All right. I too brandish my longsword and slash at the pirate who's accosting me.
Go ahead.
Sorry, that shouldn't be
So that is an 8,
any advantage. It's an 8. Yeah.
but it doesn't matter the advantage. Roll your d4 for your bless.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. 12.
Okay, you hit.
Oh, yeah.
Thank goodness for Scott.
Your sword cracks with copper lighting for a moment as it guides your sword. This is your damage or what? Looks like it. 1d8.
I don't know, because it says rolling 1d8. Oh,
Plus
yeah, I
one
just rolled a
strength.
2. I just rolled shitty.
Okay.
It's plus strength, right? Your strength modifier?
Yeah.
Just the kings of rolling shitty.
Yeah, just not great at rolling, so that's how that goes. Big old 3 damage.
Well, you were about to miss him,
Thick as no.
and then you
Yeah,
didn't.
that's
So,
The 4 was pretty great.
yeah, that's right.
It's true. Managed
Okay.
to trim his beard slightly.
You give him a superficial cut. Anything else before your turn is over?
I don't believe so. Kind of a cannon on the first round, and then it just kind of pitters off into the darkness. Yeah, that's it. There's no
Okay.
special extra thing happening.
You're up, Theren.
Okay, well, this time I swing into this other guy in front of me with my greatsword, of course. Ooh,
21 hits.
I do this, and then I check. There's a 2 in there and a 3. I think I'll try and re-roll the 2 only. Wait, can I do that?
I
don't
think it
I
has
can
to be
do
a
that.
1 only.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. No, it says a 1 or a 2.
Okay.
Okay.
There you go.
Well, I was only going to do that one anyway. I don't trust my luck enough otherwise. What was it? 1d6? Oh, well, replace a 2 with a 2. Do 8 damage.
Okay, you still managed to land a good, solid strike on him. They don't have too much in the way of armor, but this one, most of the pirates don't have this way of too much armor. This one, you notice as your sword slices through his shirt that underneath he has a chain shirt on. So now it is Eikoo's turn.
Okay. I'm going to cast Scorching Ray, And I'm going to send one of the rays to the mage. And I'm going to send 2 of the rays to this dude here. So I will click the spell first. Don't know what that 6 is supposed to mean at this point, because that doesn't.
You do a attack roll for each ray. You do.
Yeah, I was hoping that clicking that would actually do the attack roll. I guess. It's 1d20 plus integer int modifier. So 2d20 plus 2, and then plus 1d4. d20 plus 2 plus d. Seriously. Alright, so that was the one on the mage, I guess. And then the one
So
of
that's
the 2
one
for
ray. You get 3 rays.
Yeah. One of the 2 for the other dude. 15.
You're doing on which other dude, sorry?
This scary guy.
Okay. Snake Eyes, he called himself.
Snake Eyes. And
A 15 hits.
okay, and the last one, I'll just roll the other one. Big old 2-0. Alright.
And what was that one on?
Same guy, Snake Eyes.
Okay. So 2 hits.
So I'll just roll all the damage together, I guess. It's 2d6 for each ray, so 4d6. Fire damage. Come on, 24. 17, I'll take it.
Oof. He snarls as these 2 rays of fire carve into him, singeing his skin. But he doesn't fall to the ground, and he clutches his chest as the smoke curls through his fingers, and he snarls at you.
Did it hit him in the throat?
No.
Is his voice a little different?
He did not spell him in the throat. Alright. Pirate's turn.
Yeah.
Pirate is going to continue his assault on Brynn.
He misses.
Only misses his mommy.
Oh.
And his
Yeah.
attack on you. And let's see.
This is just a general question. If like do different. So, for example, I was using a long sword, but I do have the option of using a short sword. Does one use like a dex modifier instead of the strength?
It says finesse weapon.
Yeah,
you can
I
use
think
dex.
short sword does have finesse, yeah.
Okay. I might try switching it up because I was going on which had the higher like roll.
Well, which one has the higher damage? You might want to do that for that reason.
Yeah, they both appear to have piercing damage.
Yeah, but one's a 1d8, one's a 1d, or like.
Yeah, so I was going with. Oh, sorry, I'm looking at a long. Oh, yes. So no. I think it'd be a short sword.
5, 10.
So
15,
longsword's 1d8 plus 1 because my strength modifier sucks, but short sword would be 1d6 plus 4.
Oh,
So
Better.
purportedly
Yeah.
that's 5 versus 2 potentially if I roll a 1 on each go.
Yeah, that's way better.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna switch it up. I just assume bigger dice, better payout, but that seems to be the opposite.
Well, you're not that kind of fighter, Ryan. You're like an elf fighter, a
A bow
dexterous
hunter.
fighter.
Okay, so Theren, you hear a thud as a pirate lands on the ground behind you down from the crow's nest.
Oh no.
Does he take
Comes up.
damage from the fall?
No, he just jumped off the rope ladder, and he is going to give.
He
Start-
should make an athletics check.
Okay, so he rolled with advantage to attack you because he's flanking you now, and I don't. It's 15. 15 does not hit you, right?
No.
What was your AC again? Sorry.
18.
18. All right. The pirate with the red bandana and the peg leg is going to try and attack you. Again, he's using his longsword with both hands. Now he is also doing an advantage on you because you're flanking. Okay. So make a strength saving throw.
Alrighty. Strength. It's gonna be strength plus
Ooh,
1d4. Oh, I don't even know if I need that.
Definitely don't.
He smashes your longsword with incredible strength, and for a second, well, you think that he's trying to knock the sword out of your hand, but your grip is so strong that the idea is laughable. He follows up with a second attack. This time it looks like he's focusing more on trying to hurt you rather than trying to disarm you. This time he hits and deals you 7 slashing damage as his longsword manages to find a space in your body that's not covered by your heavy plate. Snake Eyes here is going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You can take your reaction to do an attack against him as he leaves this area.
What check do you have?
Oh, critical hit.
Alright.
Alright, there you go. Roll your 46 plus whatever.
Oh man.
So roll another 2d6. Okay.
And I'll reroll that 1.
Oh
Four.
yeah.
So it's 5, 3.
That's 17. 25.
25 total.
Wow.
Oh my god.
That's a big move. Cuts him
Like a
down
cannon.
while he's
He
running
tries to
back.
just run by you. His eyes focused on Eikooc, who had sent the fire rays at him, and you managed to give him a lethal stab as he goes by, and he takes a few steps beyond you before he even realizes that he's dead and falls down.
Wow. That was so
Wow.
lucky. Thank God.
Not only
He was
is
pretty
Scott
big.
more-
It was
he
a little
can
lucky.
one-shot all the characters.
That was amazing. Good timing for a good roll.
Yeah.
Wow. Bob
The
shrivels off into the sunset.
yeah, the wizard here takes a few steps back and starts casting. The pale blue light in his hands turns into a heavy, thick gray smoke that billows out and creates a 20-foot cube around him. So he's obscured from your vision pretty significantly, as well as this area. Now it is. That's all for them. So now it's up to Brynn's turn.
All right. I throw my longsword to the side and draw my short sword.
Splash.
And oh god. And give this pirate a good stab.
Took me a second.
13.
1d4.
You hit.
I think, yeah,
Oh.
I hit with a 12 anyway. 13. 8 piercing, and he's humanoid, so +2, 10. That last one where I did 3, it should have been 5, but that's okay.
You manage to get past his defense with your short sword and stab him deeply.
Stabbing you deeply with his short sword.
You temporarily die. There, it's your turn. It's not your. Sorry, Brynn, you can finish if you want. If you can move. Or
No,
do
that was it. Oh, maybe I can move. I'll just kind of take position in the middle here.
Typical Ryan. All right, Theren, it's your turn.
Not yet satisfied with the amount of murder I've been doing. I swing again at this guy with the bandana in front of me.
Nice.
That is a hit. 11.
Okay. I'm gonna re-roll the 2. Ah, down to 10. I have to keep the second roll.
Bound to happen sometime.
You still manage to give him a mighty gash from your blade, but he stays on his feet, his own long sword ready to retaliate. Anything else?
Maybe I will. Let me think here for a second.
Excuse me.
18 so far. I'll try this. So, with that strike, I kind of channel the might of my deity into the blade and spend a spell slot to use, Divine Smite. And it's just 2d8 extra radiant damage. So I'm going to go down to 1. .2d8 damage. So an extra 10 damage.
An extra 10 damage.
Crack! The copper lightning snaps as I strike.
That's right. Crumples underneath the power of your smiting blow.
Nice.
Okay. Yuck.
I'm so sorry, Bob. I am going to cast Sleep. Kind of like between the bridge, like right kind of here. It's
13.
yeah. I'm basically I'm trying to get the mage guy to fall asleep so he loses concentration.
He does lose concentration as he falls asleep.
Oh!
Actually, where is your thing? Sorry, where's your point?
It's supposed to be like right at the edge of
show
the.
Show me down here, just so you can see where you're on a square.
On a square. Let's say that one.
All right, yeah, that's the closest one. So he falls asleep, and the fog dissipates.
Nice. You really know how to cheese at that sleep spell.
Jeez, and that sleep.
This counters everything, it seems. Don't need to see anything. Don't need to.
I rolled a 13. I rolled a 13 on 5d8.
Yeah, that's not very good.
So at least
That's
I'm
not
not.
very good at all.
At least I'm not totally
2,
OPing.
4, 2, 2, 3. That's nothing was over half.
I'm not like totally OPing this.
But you could have.
I could have, for sure. I don't feel terrible about it taking out one guy.
Okay, so the last bandit here, or the last pirate, is not giving up quite yet. Ooh.
He falls off the ship.
His sword breaks in his hand. He does quit. I surrender!
Perhaps we can tie up this rabble and let them feel the full wrath of the council after a careful interrogation, of course.
I yell, "Are there more below?" Have to Brynn and have to.
There
Yes.
must be more below.
No lying. You know what will happen to you.
He nods desperately.
Okay. Well, why don't you convince your
There's
allies
more
to come
in-
out here?
There's more in there too. And he points to the door over here.
All right. Well, while we're doing this, I guess let's secure the sleeping ones before they wake up.
Oh, tie them all up? Yeah, especially the mage. Do that.
Yeah, especially the mage.
Yeah, I'm gonna make my way over and take away any items that he has on him that would give him arcane focus, and take away his spellbook if he has one. Remove anything that gives him
Gag him
arcane
as well.
power.
Make sure he can't speak. Make sure he can't move.
He doesn't have his spellbook on him.
Okay. Tie up his hands. Gag him.
And
Make
this guy
a
too. Oh,
dexterity check for your rope ties. Anyone can do the same thing as they.
Ooh yeah, those are some badass ropes. Oh man, where are all these rolls before?
These ropes. The insignificant things, like we tie these guys up with ropes. Super destructive. Climb up the side stealthily. Epic fail.
So these guys, they do wake up in the process of being tied up, but they are securely tied.
Can we gather them around the mast and have them tied to the mast?
Lash them to the mast.
Lashed to the mast? We don't want them scattered around the deck here.
Sure.
All right, let's lash these three. The mast.
well, maybe this one who's cooperating could be convinced to tell his allies to come peacefully, and I'll definitely threaten them.
Intimidate him into telling his friends to surrender to us.
That's right.
Do it up.
What are you doing, sorry?
I think Theren's getting intimidating.
Yeah, I'm gonna ask this one who's surrendered to, I'm gonna take him over to this door he pointed out, and I'm gonna open it ajar and shout in, or no, I'm gonna tell the guy why don't you convince your friends to come out peacefully and surrender? Tell them what will happen if they refuse.
As soon as you crack that door, a distinct odor wafts out that reminds you of a marsh or a swamp.
Ooh. Swamp monster.
So you crack the door, you tell him some things. What happens then?
Well, does he do it?
Does he do what? Sorry.
He's supposed to go tell his allies to come out peacefully and surrender, because he knows firsthand what will happen if they refuse to come peacefully.
He pokes his head in and says, you have to come out! Surrender! These men are here to take your steel goods from you. And you hear a commotion behind the door.
Okay, well I just wait with a attack ready in case someone comes through the door like suddenly, or with a weapon readied.
Okay. The bandit pirate comes out of the door. You attack him? Roll your
Well,
damage.
does he have his hands up, or does he come out with a weapon branded?
He comes out of the door. So, sorry, I thought you were going to attack whatever comes out of this door.
Well, I'm not going to attack him if he's got his hands up.
You don't have time to look at them and see how defensive they are. So, either you're readying an attack, or you're not readying an attack, and you can still stand there and decide what to do, but it's not going to be a ready attack. We might go into initiative before you can attack someone. That's what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Fine, I'll wait and see if they come out peacefully or not.
So the first one to come out is this pirate. And then after it comes out, these 3 scaled men, lizard men, and they say, "Who's here to take our steals?" Roll initiative.
Sleep. No. No. Chain lightning.
Okay. So, Brynn, as you watch these 3 lizard folk emerge from the cabin, you smell this almost fetid, swampy smell come with them. What do you do?
I think I'm gonna have to start laying down arrows. They don't seem friendly, these lizard folk.
They've grabbed
at all.
They've grabbed their heavy clubs, and they even have a shield that they've grabbed.
So I'm going to start laying down some destruction.
Do it.
Yeah, this is your opening salvo. This is where you
my opening salvo, glass cannon style. Let's see if I can take one out, maybe. I'm going to cast Ensnaring Strike again on my first attack. And my first attack will be at this one.
Okay. Brynn's hands glow gold as he takes aim.
Now, these guys wouldn't count as humanoid, right? They're lizard folk?
They are humanoid.
They are humanoid. Okay, so I strike with advantage. Hit them with some longbow action. Big old 24.
That's a hit.
And then we'll do some damage. We'll do 11 plus 2 is 13 damage. And if he survives that,
He does.
he now makes a strength saving throw.
Right. Okay.
If he counts as large or larger, he gets advantage. If that.
Yeah. No, these guys are medium. And what's your DC?
That's a good question. How do I figure that out?
What's your wisdom modifier?
Wisdom is 1.
So it is 8 plus 2 plus 1, which is 11. Which...
Oh, it's not very good.
No, it's not great. It's not too bad. So yeah, he meets the DC there, and as the roots grow out of the ground, he slashes away at them with his sharp clawed feet. It is... Sorry, go ahead. Do you have anything else before?
Yes, I will also make another attack at the next closest one that's 5 feet away with my longbow. An 18.
18 hits.
And he takes 12 plus 2 is 14 damage. No ensnaring strike or anything. That's so far been useless because you just keep making the saves.
Both of these arrows seem to have no problem finding purchase on the scaled armor, scaled skin, and bright red blood starts leaking from the wounds that you leave in these two. The first one that you hit snarls and runs over to you, and was going to try and grab you.
Don't do it. It's my only weakness.
Oof. Okay, go ahead and make a strength check.
A strength check?
Yeah.
Does he still get plus 1d4?
Yeah.
No, because it's been over a minute. 7 is good enough, so this creature tries to grab you and starts trying to push you, move you around, but you manage to stay your ground. But as he does that, he snaps his jaws forward, and you move your head to the side, just barely missing as his teeth would have clamped down into your flesh.
Huzzah.
Friendly bunch.
This lizard is, or one of these lizards is going to turn to Theren and tries to smack you with his heavy club. So you take 5 bludgeoning damage as the club lands hard on your shoulder. And before you can regain your wits, you see that it's also thrusting its spiked shield out at you, but you manage to deflect that with your greatsword without taking any more damage. This last one that is so far untouched by the arrows is going to take the dodge action, or not dodge action, but the disengage action to try and slink away from Theren, and runs up to Eikooc. But that is it. And let's just see if we can have some fun with something. Okay. Now it is Eikoo's turn. There is a lizard folk right in your face.
Okay. I'm like, I can only take like one hit probably from these guys. They could probably down me so quickly. I really don't want to be a one-trick sleep pony.
But it's so effective.
It's so goddamn effective. I don't know if it's actually going to work or not.
Well, two of them are injured. Like, I think this one and this one. So,
Yeah.
but then this one's the one that's up in your grill.
Well, if you can sleep the one that's up in your grill,
I can,
That
if I
would
can sleep him, or if I
ideally-
can sleep the two you guys, the two that have taken damage, then. Otherwise, I could do damage. The thing is, my big damage spells are already gone.
After your turn, it's Theren's and then mine.
Yeah.
So, like, if
I've
you
already-
put ours to sleep, we can rush to your aid, or if you put yours to sleep, we can kill the ones we're fighting.
Yeah. I've already blown my good spells on earlier, so all I've got left is like my magic missiles and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think I'm gonna toss a sleep down like right here. Centered
Alright.
on that.
Let's see how you roll.
Not good. Actually, quite bad. That was 5d8.
Not very good either. I'm second with that roll.
Yeah.
Just
5d8.
slightly below average, right?
Yeah, I guess it could be 40, right?
Yeah.
Still, we haven't seen anything in the 20s yet. Do any of them go to sleep?
Yeah,
Oh, thank God.
these two.
Both. Oh man.
All right. Well done.
Okay,
I'm sorry, Bob.
it's okay. It's alright, man. If that's it for you, then Theren's up.
Yep.
Okay, I'm gonna move over here then, away from the sleeping guy, and lunge at this guy who's threatening Eikooc.
You miss.
Too aggressive.
Far too aggressive. Your lunge leaves you off balance. And it goes up to Brynn's turn.
All
Are you able to re-roll that too?
That's an attack. Not
Oh yeah, it's not a damage.
Oh, just damage. I gotcha.
Yeah.
Bryn's turn. Oh, this guy's asleep. I will join in the fray over here. Actually, I'm just going to lob an arrow from where I'm standing because that's much more effective. Ha ha! Well, good thing those are both the same roll.
No.
22.
You rolled kind of fast there.
Okay.
There's a mast immediately in your way here. I'm trying to decide if you even have line of sight here.
Yeah, I would say I do.
Usually it's like
Well-
draw two lines to the corners. You know what? You rolled high enough that even if I give this guy partially obscurity from the mast, that you would have hit. So go ahead and just roll damage.
Bam. 7, 8, 9.
The arrow catches him in the arm and he snarls in pain. It's going to take a turn if you are ready.
Here I go.
Yeah, it's swings with his club.
Swing and a miss.
Oh, that's going to be some damage.
How much damage?
7 bludgeoning damage as the club hits you.
Yeah, he doesn't just have one attack. But
Nope. Oh,
Oh no! I'm going down, folks.
and you take 5 piercing damage as the lizard chomps into your shoulder.
Puts me to exactly 0.
Oh,
You crumple down to the ground.
If you just go to 0, you're stable but unconscious,
No,
right?
you're dying.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Next is your turn, so go ahead and make a death saving throw.
I will do that.
All right, 1 success. Now it is Theren's turn.
Finish it.
Okay, I will scream and rage at seeing my ally go down. And, you know, try to murder this guy.
19 hits.
That's 12 damage.
The lizard folk is extremely bloody and turns to look at you with a mixture of fury and fear in his eyes. But it still remains on its feet. Barely. Brynn, you're up.
You ready for this? Arrow!
Alright, you murder him.
That was a huge roll.
That was an awesome roll. Only did 8 damage, but hit him greatly.
You fire an arrow into its stomach and it falls over as if a light breeze would have had the same effect.
Light breeze. This damaging light breeze. Can I now run to Eikooc aid?
Yep, everyone who's not dead is asleep. Or tied up.
We should continue to tie up the sleeping lizard folk. Or coup de grace them.
Well, before we start doing all that stuff, I'm gonna just kneel down and lay on hands. Poor Yuck here.
Getting that massage in there.
I'll give him back 8 health.
Ooh, it's like most of my health.
Really?
Yeah. It's more than half. Do I come right back?
Yeah, you gain 8 hit points and you are conscious again.
Finish the lizards before they wake up. I say as I wake up.
Finish or interrogate?
We're gonna have a pile of people to interrogate.
They have sharp claws and can escape rope. Just end them.
Alright. You are wise, Eikooc. I'll stand over here and murder. Do I get advantage on attack or anything?
You certainly do.
Alright. I take careful aim on his neck as he lays sleeping there. And I assume that hits.
Certainly
Yeah.
does. And 11 is enough to put it out of its slumber and into death.
Okay. And I do much the same with this guy over here. Showing no mercy. Fused my leniency.
Oh man.
Okay. And again, you end its slumber and put it to death.
Well, I turn to the guy who was surrendered to us. You see what happens when people aren't reasonable with us. How many more of your allies do you think would be less foolish with their lives?
This guy jumps off the boat.
Even though he's tied up.
Is he tied up? I thought you were walking him around.
Oh yeah, that one might not be tied up. The rest of them are.
That's
Well,
true.
his hands are tied.
Well, anyhow, he chose his fate. Now, there's probably more on this boat. He said there was anyway. I don't know. He said there was 3 in there, but
I just thought about sleeping the guy who just jumped off the boat.
oh, you're a monster.
No, that'd be funny though. Are there more below?
Probably. He said there were more. He didn't say where. No doubt they're below.
Well, this guy's awake now, isn't he? We can ask him.
Are there more? You can't escape from me.
You guys
You
know
better
there's,
not.
You guys know there's still some left, right?
All right.
Yeah. There was 16 humanoids. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's at least 6 left.
This dude up here, like, didn't we like lash them to the mast?
Yeah, he's been lashed to the mast.
You bring him down there, Bo.
There's still a significant number of them left.
Can we interrogate this guy?
Which guy?
So this mage who's actually lashed to the mast.
He's still there. You guys haven't dragged him over there.
Okay,
Yeah.
I do that now. I go up here and I drag him back down.
Make strength check.
Strength check.
Was that your strength check there, 5?
If I don't have advantage.
You
8 if you do.
you tug at him, but he's resisting hard, and he says, "Let go! I'm not
Listen,
gonna help you."
Who do you work for? Who's in command of this ship? And I seriously threaten this guy with some mad oh crap.
Critical fail.
Do it with advantage.
All right, I'll do it one more time.
Wait for me to tell you to make checks, because then I'll tell you whether you take advantage or not.
All right. I intimidate the crap out of this guy with my threatening nature right now.
So the 18 there. He says, "Snake Eyes was in charge."
Huh, I barely saw him as I sliced off his... Or I guess I just sliced into his gut as he went by. Alright. Well, I walked back downstairs, I guess. Not sure what we'll find below deck, but... there's no one useful less to interrogate here. We could, call up the guards and try to get them to sail the ship into harbor instead of having an adventure down in the decks.
Yeah, we've got control of the ship.
We do, really.
Let's get the guards up here to help us in case anybody else comes up. We can, what we could do? We could secure the doors so that nobody else can come up.
That's true. Let's do that. That's way smarter. You're very wise, Eikooc. We'll do that and spend some time doing that.
Yeah.
So how are you guys gonna barricade the doors?
That's a good question. We're gonna use the available materials around us.
Do we have boats? This is a a longboat, isn't it, or something?
That's a jolly boat. Yep.
Okay, well we could kind of rope
Use
this up
that, like,
against the door.
right
And,
over here. on
yeah.
Okay, you guys are gonna drag that boat.
Yeah, okay, let's drag the boat
Yep.
over to the doors.
Okay, as soon as you start dragging this boat, they're just coming up the doors.
Damn it. It was a good plan.
Mhm.
This time I ready an attack.
You are dragging a boat.
Damn it.
While at ready.
I always have an attack ready.
Okay, as you guys
Come back to the
are,
boat.
who's helping you drag this boat? I
Yeah,
guess.
who's helping
I
me?
was definitely.
I was readying my bow
Were
for dangers that may
Where are
await.
you?
Okay,
Boat
these
is heavy and
two
unsuitable.
pirates burst out and say, "That's enough of you! Get off this ship while you still live!" And you can roll initiative.
Oh, critical initiative.
Oh, critical fail initiative.
Are you feeling tired, pirates? No.
Tired of getting their asses kicked.
Okay, so the door is open. These two are standing in front of the door. It is Eikoo's turn to go first.
Just so I'm not casting sleep again, I'm going to cast right here, like right here. And my thinking here is hopefully it also kind of goes like here and maybe down the stairs. I don't know if both stairs, but at least one stairs. I'm going to cast Grease. So they are stuck in Grease, difficult terrain. They all have to make a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
They're either sleeping or falling down.
This
Those
is the Home Alone spell. Where they all go sliding down the staircase. We have buckets set up to hit them. That's what we should have done. We should have set up buckets. Ah, come on, Bob. Come on, Bob. Come on!
They're rolling with advantage.
Still.
Okay, so these guys, they seem to wobble for a second, and then they say, "We have sea legs!"
That was a lot of really good rolls.
Yeah, I probably wasted
Good to get him out of the system.
Yeah, because that's how that worked.
Okay, so your grease goes down, covering the ground, but they seem to have no problem staying up.
Alright, so a creature that enters the area or ends its turn there has to do a dexterity saving throw or fall prone.
Okay. Brynn?
Alright, I fire an arrow at the closest of the two. Bam.
Wow.
Oh, that's certainly hit.
For 8 damage. And then we'll use my Horde Breaker to fire a second shot at the one that's further away from me.
Okay,
23.
that's a hit as well.
+8.
Yeah.
+8. How do you do +8?
11 plus 2 is 13. So I've got a Dex modifier of 4, a proficiency bonus of 2, and then I took the
Favorite enemy.
like archer class thing.
Mhm.
It gives me a further +2.
Nice.
Wow.
Oh,
So the first one, you give him a pretty serious wound in the gut. The second one takes the guy in the neck, and he falls down dead.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's the extra +2 that I'm getting is only when I'm firing arrows. So you can see, like, as soon as they're up against me, I'm like struggling to jab them with a short sword
right.
versus at long range, like multi arrows.
All right,
Yeah.
Theren, you're up.
Are these green boxes the grease, I suppose?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna carefully walk around the grease and then slash at this guy. Greatsword slash.
Okay, you're almost definitely murdering him with this attack.
1, 2.
You cut him down.
Okay.
Okay. Oops. So I just have to roll some dexterity modifiers here.
Wow. Oh my god.
What is going on?
The army is coming up.
Fail all further roll.
I don't think he's doing. He might be doing advantage still.
I think he is.
I'm only
Because of
doing
the
it.
sea
I only
legs.
did advantage for the ones that needed it.
That's incredible, though.
So behind these guys, more pirates flow out.
Still difficult terrain, though, right?
Right, but it's
But they're not going that far, so they can probably get to where they.
it's worth pointing out though. This one's probably only here because you would have run out of space. This one's fine. So, okay, and then lastly, a pirate with a blue bandana comes out. He has a hook for a hand. And he comes out here at the door here. The mage walks up here, speaks a single word of an incantation, and teleports. Reaches down, grabs a dagger, cuts
We
himself
totally
free.
gagged that mage.
Hmm?
We totally gagged that mage.
He certainly did, and you were just talking to him.
Yeah, I know we were talking to him, but we definitely tried. Anyways, continue.
Did you? I don't remember you saying so.
Yeah, for sure. But that's fine. We talked to him, so let's say we took it off.
And now there's going to be some attacks. Okay, so one of these pirates is going to attack Brynn. Ooh.
Oh, that's definitely a hit.
You take 8 slashing damage. The others have light crossbows at the ready. One is aiming at Eikooc. 13.
That's a miss.
Okay. And the guy with the hook does not have a... Oh. Yeah, he doesn't have a range he's going to use at least. So he's going to take the dodge action. Okay, now it is up to Eikoc's turn.
Okay. I am going to spin around and shoot a firebolt at this mage that's behind me here.
Seven is a miss.
Yep.
Okay, Brynn, you're up.
Alright. I got one right next to me here. I'm gonna go ahead and stab him with a short sword. Oh yeah!
Okay.
So 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13.
You stab him in the throat, and he falls down dead.
There is a pile of corpses on this boat.
Alright, Theren.
Okay, I'm gonna carefully move along here outside the grease until I'm standing between Eikooc and this guy right here. I'm gonna slash at him with my greatsword.
That's a hit. Ooh,
Good.
you murder him. These pirates are weak against your holy blade. But it is their turn now. There's only one of them left. Oh, I guess the mage is still around. Okay, that guy needs to take a saving throw because he's in the grease.
Oh, thank you.
Ooh, he falls down to the ground. Falls prone. Gets up with half his movement. 1, 2, 3. Okay. This pirate raises his hook. Takes a slash at Eikooc.
Mm.
10 piercing damage. And the hook is stuck in your skin and you are grappled.
Well, I'm also unconscious, so he gets pulled to the ground with me. Way to grapple an unconscious guy. Invoking an attack of opportunity.
The pirate wizard. One, two, three. Screams in rage. Runs in between you and turns to face Brynn. and gestures with his hands, pale blue light sparkling between his fingers, and suddenly you feel a huge gust of wind push at you. Make a strength saving throw.
Ooh.
That's a pretty good saving throw.
Not bad.
Oh, you beat it.
Yeah. Don't blow me off this boat.
Okay, yeah, you feel this wind push at you, and it takes all your strength to stay on the boat. And now that guy's fucked. Yeah.
Standing next to Theren, right where you didn't want to be.
Yeah, he's messed up now. Alright, now it is Eikoo's turn. Make a death saving throw.
Come on, no death. Uh-oh.
Ooh, one fail. Brynn, you're up.
Gonna need that diamond.
Alright, I got this guy right next to me. Might as well stab him with the old short sword. Oh, only a 10.
A 10 misses.
With
This mage is too much adrenaline, and he dodges your attack. Theren, if that is you chewing, it is your turn.
Yep. Totally me having some snack time. So would I get like some flank advantage on the mage since he's between two of us?
That's right, you'd get advantage on your attack throws.
Okay, well, can't say no to
Should
that.
I not have had advantage on
I guess
my-
that's right, actually. I'm sorry, Ryan. If you want to go ahead and reroll that.
Yeah. It's only 13. Not much
A
better.
13 would have missed anyway.
Yeah.
Sorry.
All right, well, does a 15 hit?
A 15 does hit.
Alrighty, take 12.
As he dodges Brynn's attack, you take him from behind with the greatsword. And he says, "Ah, true rival! I never met one in spellcasting." Dies. Alright. It is this guy's turn. He is going to heave with his considerable strength. And he just barely manages to get Eikoo's body to the rail.
Oh god.
And he says, "Surrender, or I'll drop him."
Ooh.
And he seems like he's readying himself. What do you guys do? We could do. You could just stay in initiative if you want, or does someone want to take the initiative and speak?
A little bit of drool comes out of my
I'll speak. I'll say, it is you who should surrender. Look at all your dead comrades around you. We will, one way or another, you're coming with us to the port to face charges. You can come peacefully and have your life, or you can add murder to your list of crimes, and I will exact Moraganon's vengeance against you. Moraganor? Am I forgetting my dude's name here?
Maraganor.
Moraganor's judgment will be you will have to lose your life.
Make a intimidation check with advantage.
Okay. This one's for all the marbles.
Oh.
Yeah!
Nice.
That's
Okay,
good to get.
you see that his legs start shaking a little, And he slumps Eikooc back down onto the railing and drops his hammer.
Very good. You're the only smart one here.
The role to save my life.
Have to tie you up and then tie you to the mast. And yeah, I'll also give you 1 HP of health back there, Eikooc.
Yay, 1 HP.
I
As
keep
you
a few
step
in
over
reserve just for this.
Valley of corpses that litters the deck here, I will cast Cure Wounds on Eikooc.
Oh, nice.
That'll work.
This is so much better when we have the cleric in the party. And also the extra cure wounds.
What's my spellcasting ability modifier?
So whatever your wisdom is.
Oh, that's not very good.
It's if you go to your.
But I rolled an 8, so you get 9 health.
Oh yeah, that's like I'm almost at full health, folks. Thank you.
Please don't fall overboard. Be careful.
I'll come. All right. Let's signal the guards with the boats. They can come on the ship and help us sail it into port, or should we just? It's a ship full of dead people.
Well, but it's got all the.
We need their ears for bounties. And to show the council the incredible work we've done in routing this smuggling ring.
It's true. They might have booty on board that we need to bring back to harbor. So we might as well bring the ship in.
You guys let the guards up. And now the next question is, when should we do the next part? There's some stuff to explore on this boat still. You guys have not left the main area.
Yeah, we've just been crushing it on the deck.
It's pretty late. I guess we can do it pretty quick with Kevin here next time, hopefully. But
I will not be here next week.
All week?
I'm going to be gone Monday, and I'm back Thursday.
Okay. Well, we'll see who's around for next week.
Going to Skagway, Alaska.
Ooh.
Whoa, really?
Yeah. They got a railway up there. It's like a cruise ship port. They've got a railway up there. Yeah. It's where like all the cruise liners stop.
Oh, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, it's like touristy. Like it's super like touristy. That's all they have there. It's like the town is only like